Thailand has become the first country in Southeast Asia to legalise same-sex marriage. This new law means that same-sex couples will have the same rights as other couples when it comes to things like adoption, inheritance and medical decisions. And it's taken activists years of campaigning to get to this point. In September, Thailand's king finally signed it into law. So today, you're going to hear from an activist who campaigns for LGBTQ+ rights in Thailand and find out what this new law is going to mean for same-sex couples. I'm Hannah Gelbart, and this is What in the World from the BBC World Service. To explain Thailand's marriage equality bill, I am speaking to Panisa Aemocha, a BBC reporter in Bangkok. Let me just get my headphones on. Hi, Panisa.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. So to start off with, tell me a bit about LGBTQ+ culture in Thailand and how mainstream it is.
To say it's mainstream, it's just like everyday life, right? And one of the very popular thing, for example, if one might think about LGBTQ in Thailand is probably the BL industry or the GL, the boy love and the girl love in Thailand that has become very popular. We actually have seen on social media platforms, a lot of foreigners actually come to Thailand because the influence of all the boy love and girl love and all the actress or the actor that they love, and they move to Thailand. One of the girls, she became a TikToker. She moved from the US to Thailand because of Apple, one of the actors who play into Boy Love series. So this is just like in general of how popular it is. But in terms of like general life, I think we are quite accepting. Of course, there's some family or some people that still find challenging to talk to their parents or to talk to the older generations of their gender. But in general, we are accepting, and I think a lot of foreigners also see Thailand as a Pride Month destination as well.
Tell me a bit about Pride. Have you been to Pride in Bangkok?
Oh yes, for sure. As a reporter and also as a friend of many gays, so it's so fun and so welcoming. And it's like I went to the Pride in Berlin as well, and also went to the Pride in Thailand. And I think we're doing a great job as well. Berlin is known for being the worldwide one, right? They have long history, but I think Thailand also like catching up. And also the last Pride month this year, because the government see where the Pride is going, and they also see the potential. They want to be make LGBTQ or BL or GL industry into a soft power to export it or to attract more tourists. So the events not only happen in Bangkok, the capital city, but the government also expanded to Chiang Mai, also Koh Samui or Phuket. So we've seen almost 1 million tourists visit Thailand during that period of the Pride Month and generate quite a bit of revenue for the country.
It sounds like such a party. I'm going to have to come to Pride in Bangkok one day. But let's talk about this same-sex marriage bill, because activists have been campaigning for it for years. Why did it take Thailand so long to legalise it?
Well, 23 years to be exact, but the short answer is time and place, right? It was first brought up back in 2001, but it was really heavily criticized by the public, so the public was really against it, and the government at the time was decided to, okay, we call it a quit because they believed that the society was not ready for it. And now there have been fightings along the way, and when the time that the public is kind of more accepting, Thailand faced with a lot of political chaos. We have coup d'etat, and we also have a lot of problem with the parliament. So it really take us to this year to finally get it. And actually, on the 22nd January next year, people can actually getting married.
That has been a long time in the making. And what does this new law actually mean in practice for same-sex couples?
So basically, all the Thai citizens, regardless of their genders, can get the same equal when it's come in terms of marriage or engagement. As you briefly mentioned, right, they are now be able to sign a medical treatment when their spouse is in emergency or when the spouse is not conscious to sign on their own, which has become problem for so many years, and also for taxes benefit. Now it's a good thing that they can share the burden on tax and also for like tax reduction, but also also, the law used to be written as for people to engage or to marry have to be males or female, but now it changed to person to person. And another important thing is the age it changed. It used to be 17 to be legally married to now 18 years old. But the rest is the same. They got the same right and benefits as heterosexual couple now.
There have been quite a few changes, apart from the fact that same-sex couples can now legally get married. And how have people been reacting to it in Thailand?
Yeah, I'll start with the number first. We have the YouGov numbers showing that 64% of Thai peoples are happy and actually support the marriage equality bill. We also have another survey from Thai publication saying that 99.3% of people agree with the same-sex marriage bill. But apart from this number, you can go online or actually go on street on that day to see people celebrating. We should show a lot of pictures of people just celebrating on the same-sex marriage bill when it was passed on the March 23rd this year. People just celebrating like they were having what they've been waiting for is 23 years.
Like another pride parade.
Yeah, like another pride, yeah.
Has there been any negative reaction at all?
Yeah, actually, there are a few. Actually, on the parliament on that day of the March 23rd, there were debate as well, and there were quite a few MP who's like against the bill, and they have the thought of thinking that, oh, this will come with like a threat to female, and their argument is just like, oh, why would we have to do this? If you love each other, that should be enough, right? And ignore all the right and all the tax benefit and all a lot of things, right? To sign on medical treatment, it's important for a couple to do it legally. But on a grand screen, we don't see any people go on the street to protest on the bill.
Panisa, just stay on the line for a minute. I want to play a clip from a conversation I've had with Best Chitsanupong Nithiwana, who is an activist, and she co-founded the Young Pride Club in Chiang Mai.
For me, thinking from the perspective of young Thai queer person, I think such law should have been passed for like 10 years ago, because this law actually passed amid the changing, societal value, societal acceptance, especially the young generation, where we have seen other country has passed this such law. And we think that why our country have not passed yet. After the past two elections in Thailand happened, we've seen the emergence of, progressive young queer activists, young political activists, and also a new generation of, a parliamentarian who really in favor to support the LGBT rights, and both in parliament and also on the street as well. So for that, with all of those movements come together, I feel like the general population quite really have more and more positive attitudes towards our community. But as I say, there are still some of the people who are not really support our cause. For example, like in education, that Panan says, some of like older generation, like teacher, policymaker, especially I would say those who in the rural area, which is have a lot of influence from the conservative view, shaped by like cultural and religious, still oppose the freedom of expression, freedom of express the gender identity of young people in the school, in the university. So for me, I would say the marriage law just simply directly support the right of the same-sex couple, but not directly protect all the LGBTIQ individuals in Thailand. And this highlight that we need other comprehensive law and protection in terms of policy, educational policy that need to be done.
Back to you, Panisa. Now, Thailand is mostly Buddhist, and I'm curious, what does Buddhism say about being gay, and what is that relationship like between religion and LGBTQ plus groups in Thailand?
Buddhism is actually one of the aspects that allow Thailand to be where we are today, that being quite an inclusive society that allows and open for LGBTQ people. And in Thailand, religions play an important role to society. You can't just separate them from each other. And in Buddhism, there's no principles that against LGBTQ. So you can be LGBTQ. It's not a sin or it's not nothing. You can just do your things. Only one thing is that you can't get into monastic being transgenders or being non-binary. But that's the only thing. If you're gonna live your normal life, that is okay. So in this sense, being Buddhisms and Thailand being the Buddhisms allow us to be more open compared to other religions that might see it as a sin.
Does that mean that in Thailand, people can identify as their preferred gender and that's recognised legally? Or is that still an issue?
So that is a separate law, and Thai people can't just identify themselves as their wish or according to their gender preference. So it has actually been proposed this year as well, this law, this bill, but it got rejected back in February this year.
So in 2019, Taiwan's parliament became the first in Asia to legalise same-sex marriage. Nepal registered its first same-sex union in November last year, and that was 5 months after the Supreme Court ruled in favour of it. Do you think, following Thailand's new law, that nearby countries could follow suit and legalise same-sex marriage anytime soon?
I think a lot of activists and advocacy people really hope that what Thailand has done will influence people. And it's been a long time, right? 20 years. So we know that we're not going to expect other country to, enact it tomorrow or next year. But of course, it will be an influence. But one thing to notice, is actually because in Asia or in ASEAN, there are a variety of beliefs that could really jeopardize the moving forward movement of this LGBTQ right, whether or not it's gender recognition or whether or not it's same-sex marriage. For example, if we go back to religion, there used to be a study case on Myanmar as well, that in the past, Myanmar used to be open to LGBTQ people, similar to Thailand. But when it's got colonized, right, there's got influence of Christianity, and it's become a felony to be, same-sex to have same-sex activity or to be non-binary, that become a felony, that become criminalized. So that has been embedded into the society. And after the colonization era, we have the military rule that have patriarchy mindset, and that is also male dominant. That is also not allowing places and space for LGBTQ people as well. So it's really hard to put one model from one country to apply to other country, because their belief, their social structure, that the way the government is organized, or democracy or dictatorship, that play a lot of important role in advancing this LGBTQ right.
Panisa, thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.
Before I go, I want to let you know about some of the other stories that we've covered on What in the World. We put out a brand new episode every weekday. You can listen to them right here on YouTube. We're also doing one in Vision every week. And we've talked about things like how a North Korean defector became a K-pop idol. We've also done an episode on whether attitudes towards India's caste system are changing. You can search for those episodes here on YouTube. And if you are not already, please do subscribe and leave us a comment down below with your thoughts. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Hannah Gelbart. This is What in the World from the BBC World Service, and we'll see you next time. Bye.